They shared a home, but not their thoughts. For Laura and David Bennett, the distance between them wasn't measured in miles, but in unspoken words and unheard feelings. This is the story of what happens when silence becomes the loudest thing in a room. Laura Bennett would lie in bed at night, listening to her husband breathe. The sound was so familiar, but the man beside her felt like a stranger. They had built this life together, a home, a family, a shared history. But somewhere along the way, they had stopped building it with each other. Their days ran on parallel tracks that never seemed to intersect. David left for work before the sun was up. Laura worked from her home office, the keyboard her only companion. They exchanged the necessary words over dinner, a script they had memorized long ago. How was your day? Fine. Yours? Fine. It was a performance, delivered without feeling. The house was full of things they had once chosen together. The comfortable sofa, the abstract art on the walls, the patterned dishes in the cabinet. But it all felt hollow now, like a museum dedicated to a marriage that was once alive and breathing. They navigated around each other with a polite, careful choreography, like two satellites orbiting the same empty space. The silence between them had a physical weight. It filled the car during errands. It sat with them at the dinner table. It lingered in the bedroom. This wasn't a peaceful quiet. It was a heavy quiet, filled with all the things left unsaid. It was the "I'm fine," she said, when she wasn't. It was the "don't worry about it," he'd say, when he clearly did. Being married but emotionally distant meant living with a stranger you once promised everything to. Sometimes Laura would watch David from the kitchen window as he worked in the garage. She could still see the man she fell in love with, in the way he frowned with concentration in his careful, capable hands. But she no longer knew the thoughts behind his eyes. The connection that once bound them had frayed one tiny thread at a time over many years. The crisis didn't arrive with a dramatic fight or shouting match. It came with a profound stillness. One Tuesday evening, David was late coming home from work. Laura realized she hadn't felt worried. She hadn't felt anxious. She had felt nothing at all. The realization hit her like a cold wave. When did his absence stop mattering? When had his presence stopped meaning connection? That night, when he finally came to bed, she didn't turn away. She just stared up at the ceiling and said to the darkness, "I miss you." The words hung in the air, fragile and terrifying. For a moment, David didn't respond. The silence stretched, feeling longer than all the years before it. Then she heard a quiet sigh. "I miss you too," just for words. But they were the first real words they had spoken to each other in what felt like a lifetime. They weren't a magical solution. They were a small crack in the wall they had built between them. What began next wasn't some grand, dramatic reconciliation. It was a series of small, often terrifying choices. The choice to sit on the same couch without the TV on. The choice to ask a real question and actually wait for a real answer. The choice to share a small moment from their day that actually meant something, not just a comment about the weather. They began the slow, awkward process of learning each other again. Not as the people they were when they first married, but as the people they had become. It was painful at times. It was incredibly slow. But in that slowness, the silence began to change. It was no longer a wall dividing them. It became a space where something new could slowly, carefully begin to grow. The lesson here is that closeness isn't a destination you arrive at and stay forever. It's a daily practice, a conscious choice you make again and again. Distance in a relationship grows not from the things we argue about, but from all the little things we stop sharing. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do in a marriage is not to leave, but to turn toward the silence and speak softly into it. If Laura's story echoes in the quiet of your own relationship, perhaps share this video. Sometimes just naming the distance is the very first step in finally crossing it. Thanks for watching.